choice because he's actually 40-something. He just stopped aging, and Kaho's like in her early 20s, so you could be kind of like, I don't know, man, that's kind of weird either way.
That's the way it works.
Double.
But, like, Kaho is kind of like Ariel's symbol of being able to move on from Chloe's life, if that makes sense, especially because, as you know from, if you've read Holic or anything like that, Chloe is kind of in love with Yuko. Enough so that he literally, the thought destroyed worlds. Chloe's really powerful. So we kind of get a little bit of, like, that, like, this is purely for Ariel, I guess you could say. Like, his falling in love with Kaho and Kaho loving him back is, like, the one thing that is not, I'm reincarnation of Chloe. So that's kind of nice for him, I guess, but still, double wide.
The other thing to note is, like, related to Kaho's ability to see the future is, like, when she breaks up with Toya, she's like, I need to break up with you because we're both going to have people that are going to become more important in our lives. And she dated him already knowing that this would be the case.
Yeah.
While he was in middle school.
Yeah.
It was creepy and wrong.
Kaho gets no passing points. I don't know. Like, anyway, so that all said, as we all know, pedophiles are bad, okay? Please do not ever. This is Clamp imposing interesting values. But bearing in mind that the series is written for 8-year-olds, you're like, but anyway.
I was going to say, I remember in the anime, like, Sakura kind of had feelings for Kaho, too. She was like, she makes me feel funny, like I feel about Yuko.
Sakura's Hanyan feeling.
Yeah, that's Sakura. She just loves everybody.
Sakura's super cute because she gets the Hanyan feel, and she gets them around Mizuki as well. And we find out, like, this is actually one of the reasons why I like talking about things with Shaoran. It is word of God that Sakura and Shaoran are both, word of God being Clamps, like talking outside of the series, that both Sakura and Shaoran are pansexual in the sense that no matter who they reincarnate as, they could reincarnate as aliens on another planet, they could reincarnate the same gender, they could both be girls, both be boys, whatever, they will always end up together. That is Clamp's word on the subject. That said, like, her interpretation, Sakura's interpretation of her feelings towards Yukito are of love. Shaoran's interpretations of his feelings towards Yukito are of love. Sakura's interpretation of her feelings towards Mizuki are not love, which is interesting because this is described the same way, but she doesn't say, oh, I love this girl, or I have feelings towards, or I have a crush on Mizuki-sensei the way that I do on Yukito.
But she does the same way about Ariel as well. She also has the Hanyan.
She does have Hanyan feelings, but she specifically knows those are like, they make her think of her father. That's just, I don't know how much that happens in the anime. Do you know if this?
It didn't happen so much. Like, she took an interest in him, but not enough to concrete anything.
Okay. I kind of feel like she's more on the straight side, probably a little bit bi. Everybody's a little bit bi in most Clamp stuff. But at least in Cardcaptor Sakura specifically, in Tsubasa, she's so bi. It's like precious.
Yeah.
God. Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah.
Or we got
We're
exit
leaving
the creepy sensei corner.
sensei corner. Moving on to other relationships that were sad. So this is the sad section of the panel, and a little bit more meta than we've been up to this point. Yeah. Sakura and Tomoyo. Tomoyo, as you may all be very well aware, is very deeply in love with Sakura, and this is something that is ongoing throughout the series. Early on in the manga, there's been I've heard that the artist didn't realize that she was supposed to be in love with Sakura. They thought that she was in love with Toya. And so, like, in the first chapters of the manga, it looks like she's in love with Toya. And then she's like, Toya and Sakura have the same ears. And you're like, ears? But she has a huge crush on Sakura. And the reason why this is an interesting situation is because Tomoyo is one of two relationships, or two cases of unrequited love that appear in the series. That's not like, it doesn't get a conclusion. You have the unrequited love, of course, of Sakura to Yukito, but that does get a conclusion and a healthy ending. You do not get that for Tomoyo or for Yue, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Tomoyo, her love for Sakura is played for laughs. Primarily, especially in the anime, you get a lot, like, Sakura is uncomfortable with Tomoyo's fawning over her. So you get a lot of Sakura being like, Tomoyo's like, I'm going to film you doing everything, it's going to be amazing, and Sakura's like, I don't know. And it's kind of unfortunate because, like, it could have been so much. It could have been written so much better. I feel like. I know some people that ship this very hard. I know a lot of people that feel that there's a lot of value in the unrequited love that never really gets resolved, like as a story point for people that feel like it kind of validates them and their own unrequited love situations. Because it does happen in real life, it's true. But like from a narrative standpoint, I feel like it's kind of a disservice to the character. This is also, it's partially because, once again, Clamp on the whole has an interesting history with lesbianism. It's not good, unfortunately. So in this series, we really have only two characters that are like in love with other girls, and those are Tomoyo and her mother. They both just are played for laughs. Like their situations are like considered kind of funny, and then like they don't get any kind of actual resolution on it. I don't have a panel of Sonomi, but Sonomi is her mother. Sonomi was in love with Nadeshiko. She was also kind of the obsessive love. Nadeshiko is also her cousin. So when Nadeshiko was like, I'm actually in love with my teacher, and we're going to go get married, and Sonomi got so pissed that she joined in with her dad, cutting off the family. So that's the unloved shrew kind of storyline comes in there. She doesn't even know about, Nadeshiko is so estranged from her family that Sonomi does not know Sakura exists, or Toya exists. And towards the beginning of the manga, she finds out for the first time that Fushitaka and her cousin that she was in love with had a daughter. Okay, and like that her friend, that her daughter is best friends with that daughter, and she's like, what? Also, in this picture, I think she has braids. Later on, I just think
they're braids.
I think the next panel. I think the next panel is. Let's find out. Let's see what it is. No, that's
the panel after that.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna you see her hair's kind of like in curls, and I don't know if you remember this, but actually, her hair's straight. Her hair is naturally straight, and she puts it in curlers every night because her mother encouraged her to do so. It makes her look like Nadeshiko. So hope that creeps you out.
She grew her hair long for that same reason. Like she didn't let her cut it. And it's really weird.
Yeah, no, it's a little weird. Again, like it's kind of unfortunate. Like this, like sort of obsessive love treatment. It's a negative treatment of the love. Like there's not really much validation for being in love with another girl. And so Tomoyo definitely suffers from that throughout the entire time of the story.
It's kind of an enigma in like the sense of Cardcaptor Sakura being a very validating of all types of love. And even unrequited love when you have the interaction between Yukito and Sakura, but apparently not if you're a girl who's in love with another girl. And that's just a problem that Clamp has in multiple iterations of females having feelings for one another in a romantic sense throughout their series.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of like one of those things where it's really kind of weird because it's within the meta of just Clamp. If you know enough Clamp, you're kind of like, this is a worrying trend. If you are familiar with like just the series itself, unfortunate, like her story ends in the manga with her holding a phone, having just told Sakura that Sharon's leaving for the airport. That's the last you see of her, and that's really unfortunate. Like she really, I wish that she got closure. I feel that is one of the weaknesses of Cardcaptor Sakura, that she doesn't have any kind of closure. Even if it was just to just confess to Sakura, and we'll get a little bit more into why that's important a little bit later when we talk about Sakura and Sharon. So the other love story that was unrequited is Yue and Chloe. Yue very much in love with Chloe, and Chloe being like, you're my creation and my son, and I do not care about you that way, and I'm just going to casually smile at you gently and then put you to sleep. It's just really sad. This one has a lot of feelings about Yue.
I do.
We could never
You
tell.
couldn't tell.
It's like one of my favorites, though.
Yeah.
He's a good character. He's so good.
Yue is my favorite character. The only reason I'm not Yue is because I have built his wings and I'm very intimidated by doing so. Otherwise, I would just be Yue all the time when I'm not cosplaying Subaru Sumeragi from Tokyo Babylon. But Yue is a really tragic figure in the sense that his devotion for Chloe is so... I'm not really sure how to get into what I want to talk about. You probably have the notes on this better than I did. I wasn't expecting you to put on the spot.
I'm
to
sorry.
share my feelings about
I didn't mean to put
Yue.
you on the spot. Okay.
I mean, I'll do it. I just didn't promise.
I do want to talk about it too, but
Please.
but Last Judgment is probably the main thing where you like really, because Yua finally shows up, and his very first appearance is right in time for the final judgment, and he's going to, and he's pissed, man. Okay, he's been stuck in his like kind of dumb like other self false mode for a really long time, and he's like, yeah, no, just a little.
What?
Pork buns.
Pork buns.
I adore Yukito very, very much, but he is a little airheaded. So anyway,
but Sakura is also a little airheaded, and they would have been dumb airheads together, and it would have been cute, and Flo shipped it.
No, it's true. It's true. Flo did really ship it hard too. And he shipped it so hard that he, of course, puts him in the situation where basically the final judgment happens. And the fun part is that from the beginning, Yua was never going to win that thing. So,
Nope.
yeah.
No, he was never going to win that thing. Because I don't know how much they go into this in the anime either, but after things start to unfold with Ariel, I think it's when Sakura captures the Dark card, she has this vision of the past of when Chloe put Yue and Kero into the book. And she tells Yue and Kero the story afterwards, and both of them don't remember it like that. Their memories about what happened when Chloe died are completely different. And Sakura's like, what I see was wrong? And Kero's like, nah, Chloe probably changed our memories because he was a dick like that. But the story that Sakura sees is Yue just being utterly distraught and so upset about why Chloe has to die, and he doesn't understand, and he doesn't ever want another master, and Chloe's like, well then, you can be the one that judges the new master. And Yue is like, I won't ever accept a new master. And Chloe's like, that's nice, hun. Kisses him on the head in this manga panel, and that's what sends him asleep in the book. That's the last Yue ever sees of Chloe.
Yeah.
Because what was it? But the thing is that Yue was never actually going to be the one who judged and got to choose, because when you actually have the last judgment happen, Kaho shows up at the Moonbell. And because that allows Sakura to be able to change the Chloe cards into Sakura cards, and it takes away Yue's ability to be able to use the moon-empowered Chloe cards against her. And Chloe made the Moonbell. Chloe made sure it was in a shrine to be protected so Kaho could pick it up to bring it to the Last Judgment. So Chloe already knew that Sakura was going to be the Cardcaptor, and Yue was never going to have a say in it. And you see him at the end of the Last Judgment. Sakura ends up like capturing him with the Windy, and even though he accepts her, I don't think he ever really fully. He's really hurt by Chloe's betrayal and his manipulation in that sense, and it's really, really sad.
He never gets closure on that, and he also never gets closure on how much he cares about Chloe. When he gets to see Ariel later, he's very offended by the fact that Ariel exists and it's not Chloe. And Ariel has to like tell him like not him, you know, and it's really quite sad.
Yeah.
But
there's a point in the manga where Yukito sees Ariel from across the fence in Tomoeda High and immediately changes into Yue. Yue jumps over the fence shouting, Chloe! Because he senses Ariel's magic, and it's Chloe's magic. And Ariel actually like puts him back to sleep and makes him forget because he's like, the time's not ready for you to know about my existence yet. Then at the end of the manga, after I turned off the PowerPoint by talking too much about my stupid good baby, Ariel explains to him that he's not Chloe. And there's so much want of Yue for him to be Chloe, but Ariel's like, not. I can't treat you like he did, but I can talk about his memories with you. And that's kind of less you see of Yue in the manga, is not being very satisfied with Ariel's answer, and never really getting to get over his feelings for Chloe, and particularly the betrayal that Chloe enacted on him with the Last Judgment, and transferring him to the first.
so that's kind of like, this one's a little bit less of a problematic unrequited relationship, I guess you could say. It's just more of a sad one. So here you go, our two forever alone.